Good Thursday morning, everybody. It's Mason Sapesky here with you, and welcome to my Week 5 NFL predictions. It is crazy to think about the fact that we're already in Week 5. Time is going so fast, and we all know that time goes fast, and the older you get, the faster time goes, and all people that I knew, that are currently in college or just graduated college, told me last year at the end of my senior year of high school, the college is going to go really fast for you. And then just like that, you'll be out in the workforce. These first 7 weeks have already gone fast. It went by like this. Boom. We're already less than 2 weeks till midterms. So unbelievable, but still, for all my studying, for all the time I've invested in studying, I've still found the time to spend with you guys and make these videos, which is very important to me. And I'm going to get into it right now because actually I have to go prepare for a test later today, to be honest with you. I have a test coming up, so wish me luck. But I'm going to just, as you know, every week how these videos work, I go through my charts with probabilities. I didn't print them out this week because I have to look over to my computer. For each team on Tuesday and Wednesday, after Monday Night Football ends, Tuesday and Wednesday, I go through and project the remainder of the schedule on this amazing website called Playoff Predictors based on how things are going. Then I do predict playoff odds, division odds, conference odds, and Super Bowl percentages. So everything's in percentages. And then I'll go through those for each team for this week. Then after that, I will go for my Week 5 predictions. So, yeah. And by the way, you probably noticed my jersey by now. I'm repping RG3. You don't see him much anymore, but I'm repping the RG3 jersey. It's a youth small, so it's pretty tight on me. I'm lucky I even got it on, to be honest with you, but hope you like it. Typically, I tend to wear the team on Thursday night. I'm cheering for the Bears, by the way, so it's kind of weird I have this jersey on because I'm cheering for... Doesn't this sound weird? I'm cheering for the Bears. I have to go against Justin Fields in fantasy, and I'm wearing a Commanders, or an old Washington Redskins, but now Commanders jersey. So very interesting, to say the least. But the reason I do it is because it's Thursday Night Football, and I always try to wear one of the teams on Thursday Night Football's jerseys. So interesting, to say the least. But here we are for this week. We're going to start, as always, in the AFC East. Buffalo Bills, they're currently 3-1. I project them at 14-3. 96% playoff chance, 48% division chance, 17% conference chance, 11% Super Bowl. And I tend to go quick on these because I just don't want the videos to be too long, so I apologize if I go too quick. Miami Dolphins, 3-1, 13-4 projected, 87% playoff chance, 40% division chance, 10% conference chance, 3% Super Bowl. New England Patriots, 1-3, 8-9 projected, 29% playoff chance, 9% division chance, 3% conference chance, 1% Super Bowl chance. And once again, too, I'm sorry you're looking over my computer. It's just that's where the odds are. And really, I can't display it much better so that I can look at you guys. Maybe like this will be a little better. But yeah. New York Jets, 1-3 currently, 8-9 projected, 23% playoff chance, 3% division chance, 2% conference chance, 1% Super Bowl chance. AFC North time now. Baltimore Ravens, they're currently at 3-1. 12-5 projected record. 70% playoff chance, 38% division chance, 15% conference chance, 7% Super Bowl chance. Steelers, 2-2. 8-9 projected record. 46% playoff chance, 22% division chance, 3% conference chance, and 2% Lombardi Trophy chance, unfortunately. Browns, 2-2. Sorry to burp. First time today. Browns, 2-2. Projected record, 7-10. Playoff chance, 34%. Division 10. Conference 2. Super Bowl 1. Bengals, they're currently 1-3. I still project them, though, to go 10-7. 54% playoff chance, 30% division chance, 7% conference chance, 3% Super Bowl chance. Not looking good in Cincy. AFC South, Houston's 2-2. I project them at 9-8. 45% playoff chance, 10% division chance, 3% conference chance, 1% Super Bowl chance. Jacksonville is 2-2. I project them to be 11-6. 52% playoff, 82% division, 6% conference, and 3% Super Bowl. Colts, you're 2-2, 4-13 projected, 28% playoff chance, 3% division chance, 2% conference chance, 1% Super Bowl chance. Titans, they're currently 2-2, projected at 9-8, 48% playoff chance, 5% division chance, 2% conference chance, 1% Super Bowl chance. They actually got the final wild card in the simulation, so that's kind of funny. AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs, they're 3-1, 13-4 projected record, 99% playoff chance, 85% division chance, 22% conference chance, and 12% Super Bowl chance. Los Angeles Chargers, they're currently 2-2. I project them though to go 9-8. Oh, it's like you get tired. 39% playoff, 7% division, 3% conference, 2% Super Bowl. Vegas Raiders, they're currently 1-3. I project them to be 7-10 on the year. 28% playoff chance, 6% division chance, 2% conference chance, 1% Super Bowl chance. Things ain't looking too good right now for Josh McDaniels, unfortunately. Denver Broncos, they're currently 1-3. I project them to go 4-13. 6% playoff chance, 2% division chance, 2% conference chance, 1% Super Bowl chance. NFC East, we got the Philadelphia Eagles. They're 4-0, 12-5 projected. 96% playoff chance, 45% division chance, 20% conference chance, 10% Super Bowl. Dallas Cowboys, 3-1, projected record, 10-7, 90% playoff, 40% division, 7% conference, 5% Super Bowl. So I continue to yawn. Commanders, 2-2 record, 4-13 projected, 29% playoff chance, 17% division, 2% conference, 1% Lombardi Trophy. Giants, I have them at 1. They're currently 1-3, but I have them finishing at 7-10. 12% playoff chance, 3% division chance, 2% conference chance, 1% Lombardi Trophy. Detroit Lions onto the NFC North now. They're currently sitting at 3-1. I have them finishing this year at 12-5. 95% playoff chance, 70% division chance, 10% conference chance, 5% Super Bowl chance. Packers, they're currently 2-2. 7-10 projected record. 48% playoff, 20% division, 2% conference, 2% Super Bowl. The Vikings, they're currently 1-3, but I have them finishing at 9-8. 43% playoff, 8% division, 2% conference, 1% Lombardi Trophy. Super Bowl. Bears, they're currently sitting at 0-4. Big game tonight against this team, especially for the head coach. 4-13 projected, 2% playoff chance, 2% division chance, 2% chance for the conference, and a 1% Super Bowl chance. We have to give it. I typically decide to give every team at least a 1% chance to win the conference and the Super Bowl until they're mathematically eliminated. So just that. Just want to share that. NFC South. Tampa Bay Buccaneers really impressing me this year. 3-1 currently. I project them though to go 9-8. 68% playoff chance, 45% division chance, 4% conference chance, 2% Super Bowl chance. Saints, 2-2 currently. I project them at 5-12 though. 44% playoff chance, 25% division chance, 2% conference chance, and 2% Super Bowl chance. Falcons, they're currently sitting nice and pretty at 2-2, better than most years. I project them though to go 4-13. Actually, the simulation had them picking number 1 overall in the draft. Caleb Williams to the Falcons? Maybe. We'll see. 19% overall chance at playoffs. 20% chance to win this division, 20% conference chance, and 1% Super Bowl chance. The quarterback I kind of like, though, from this draft class so far is Michael Penix Jr. No dissing Caleb Williams because he's phenomenal, but keep an eye on Michael Penix, so for sure. Although I said CJ Stroud wouldn't be very good, so don't take my word. Carolina Panthers, they're currently sitting at 0-4. I project them though to go 6-11. 2% playoff chance, 5% division chance, 2% conference chance, and 1% Super Bowl. Last division now, we're going to go to the NFC West. San Francisco's 4-0. I project them to go 15-2. 99% playoff chance, 75% division chance, 35% chance to win this conference, and a 13% chance to win the Super Bowl. Seahawks, they're 3-1. I project them to go 9-8. 80% playoff chance, 20% division chance, 4% conference chance, 2% Super Bowl. LA Rams, they're 2-2. I project them to 9-8. 45% playoff chance, 3% division chance, 2% conference chance, 2% Super Bowl chance. Cardinals, I'm 2-2. I project them to, I'm sorry. I take that back. That was an error in my spreadsheet. Let me fix that right now for myself. Cardinals are 1-3. I'm sorry. Sorry, Arizona. Cardinals are 1-3. I project them though to go 4-13. 3% playoff chance, 2% division chance, 2% conference chance, and a whopping 1% Super Bowl chance. Interesting. All right, we are now gonna go to Week 5, the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm going to predict all the Week 5 games this week, except for the Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers one. That will be out Sunday morning on my Steelers Game Day pregame. So, by the way, too, I apologize for the late uploads on several videos, including the Steelers Game Day postgame. So, the Mondays with Mason for this week and the NFL Week 4 recap. I'm sorry about the late uploads for those guys. And if this one's uploaded late, I'm also sorry about that. It's just these videos take time to upload for some reason on YouTube. I don't have the best Wi-Fi service most of my days, except for when I come here. So, yeah. We're going to start off, though, with Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders. This game. This is not going to be a good night for the Bears. I don't think it's going to be a good night for the Bears. However, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears pull this off. I know this is just a rumor. I know this is just people trying to spread gossip. You got a lot of gossip and drama spreaders in this modern day society. But an NFL or an account on Twitter that does like NFL rumors and stuff said if the Bears lose tonight, it's highly likely that they fire head coach Matt Eberflus. I was never a fan of this hire. You need young offensive minds, especially when you're grooming a young quarterback like Fields. And who knows if he'll even be the quarterback there next year. If you have that first overall pick and Caleb Williams declares, you better have a young offensive mind in there. Or else it's going to be the same old Chicago Bears. So that's just my tidbit on that. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Eberflus tonight. As for the Commanders, they played very good last week against Philly, and I could see a down game from them. However, I just think this Bears team is so bad. They are so bad. They've made so many mistakes. The Chase Claypool trade was a joke for the Bears. The one thing they have won, though, since last October, the 24th, that was their last win against the Patriots. They beat the Patriots in Foxborough. That was their last win, by the way. That's why I said that. They've won one thing since then. It's not a game. It's the Bryce Young trade. The way that trade's looking, Chicago absolutely demolished Carolina. And I know DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, they haven't done the best. But if these records hold and the Bears and Panthers are the two worst teams in the league, to pick one and to pick two, that jumpstarts your rebuild big time. Under a new regime. That would be Utes. So, yeah. For sure. But anyway, just for tonight's prediction, on to that. I think the Commanders are easily going to win this game. I have them 75% win probability, Chicago 24. Jaguars and the Bills. This is over in England. It's another early game. I love the early games because you have football from 9:30 a.m. to midnight. That's awesome. What can beat that? What could beat that? Last Sunday's obviously was one of my favorite days of the year, MLB finale, and also too the NFL all day. So yeah, that's definitely good stuff for sure. Hopefully my Mondays with Mason MLB predictions got uploaded. Just a spoiler alert, I won 1 for 4 in my MLB predictions with the Phillies being the only team that won. But anyway, this is NFL, and I'm doing really good with it. So let's get back on track with NFL. Let's talk about this game some. Jacksonville is looking to go to 3-2 and get a big win and prove that they are a contender, not a pretender this year for sure. But yeah, I think they'll be okay this season, but I don't think they'll be okay this week. I just think Buffalo's too strong of a team. I can see why you think Jacksonville is the edge, because they've been in London already, and they have the edge. They know that field better, and they've been there a week for practice, and Buffalo hasn't, obviously. So, or at least they haven't played a game on the field, but I don't know where they're practicing this week. But definitely interesting stuff out of Orchard Park. I still think the Bills are the better team, and I still think the Bills win this one. It might be close, but closer than most people think, but I think the Bills win. I have them 75% win probability, Jacksonville 24%. So those two games I don't think will be very interesting. They might be, though. New Orleans at New England. This is a very important game for New England. New England's in the same exact situation as they were last year. They played a 1-3 Detroit Lions team in Foxborough. They started the year 1-3. The Patriots absolutely annihilated the Lions that day. It was 29-0. The Patriots don't start 1-4. And even though the Saints are 2-2 and they've shown signs of being okay this year, the Patriots the Saints aren't like this great team. And the Patriots don't start 1-4. So this one was kind of easy for me, but it kind of wasn't. But I was going to pick New Orleans, but after thinking about it and after the Patriots played this past week, they're going to be upset. They're going to be wanting to get out there and wanting to get a win. And I think Belichick's going to lead the Patriots to a win. So I'm taking New England this week. 51% win probability for New England, 48% for New Orleans. Giants and the Dolphins. Yeah, this one's kind of easy. The Giants stink. They stunk last week on Monday Night Football, and they're going to stink even more. I don't think it's going to be a 70-20 kind of thing, but it'll be pretty bad. So I'm taking the Dolphins in this one easy. 88% win probability for the Fins. 11% for the G-Men. Pittsburgh, we're going to skip that. We'll come back to that Sunday for the pregame. So Houston and Atlanta. This will definitely be one of the more interesting games in the league for sure. These are two upstart teams. Atlanta started the year 2-0. They've lost their past two, though, but you got to cut them some slack because those past two have been somewhat good teams, and the Lions in Jacksonville, they're the standard now, I think, for up and coming. But yeah, I mean, I think Atlanta's doing okay. They're in an okay point. I can see why people are mad at Terry Fontenette, the GM, and Arthur Smith, the head coach, but they're doing good. As for Houston, they lost earlier this year to Baltimore in Baltimore and the Colts at home. However, they've had two impressive victories these past 2 weeks in Jacksonville against the Jaguars and against the Steelers at home. CJ Stroud has done great things. I picked him up for my fantasy team this week because he's doing great things. He's the guy. He's the man. Sorry to burp again. He's the man. I'm sorry, CJ, that I was so wrong on you in the draft. I had ranked him 7th overall. I said that was a terrible pick. But CJ Stroud's the real deal in Houston. But yeah, for sure. I mean, this is going to be a close game. We'll see which team is closer to contending for a playoff berth, that's for sure. I think the Texans are going to pull this one out. I'm taking the Texans in this one barely. I don't know the exact scores I predicted. They're on my phone, and I'm filming on my phone, so I'm sorry I can't do that for you guys. But Texans, yeah, I give you guys a 51% win probability, and I give the Falcons 48%. Titans and the Colts. This will be an interesting game, that's for sure. Colts are doing good. Anthony Richardson's doing a nice job. Another QB I was so wrong on, but Tony Richardson, he's doing nice. Colts are looking better than expected. Same with the Titans. They're also looking better than expected. So this will be an interesting game for sure. Possibly control of the AFC South is on the line if both Jacksonville and Houston lose. So yeah, for sure. I mean, this will be interesting, that's for sure. But I'm taking the Titans in this one. Give me Tennessee with a 52% win probability. Colts 47% win probability. On now to Detroit, Michigan, we're going to, where the Detroit Lions host the Carolina Panthers. The Lions are looking to get a 4-1 start and send the Panthers to 0-5. The Panthers are looking to get their first win of the Bryce Young era. Frank Reich would get his first victory as a Panthers head coach. Bryce Young would get his first victory as the starter. They brought in that all-star coaching staff, all those free agents, made the trade up for number one. One would think they're very serious about contending, not just now, but in the future as well. They have shown anything but to be a contending team. They lost to Atlanta pretty bad. In Atlanta, they lost to New Orleans at home, who has not looked very good. They lost to Seattle in Seattle somewhat bad, and they blew a lead this week up against Minnesota, who was also 0-3. So things are going to be tough in Carolina for a while. I don't know what their immediate future is with stuff, but it's not looking that good. As for a team that is looking good, the Detroit Lions, they're going to look to rely on that rushing attack more. Carolina does not have a good rush defense. This means I think there's going to be a lot of David Montgomery. I know my Steelers, like little props that I do in the game day show, aren't going too well, but one prop I think might work this week, and it might curse him. If it does, that kind of would help me in a way, but because I have Jahmyr Gibbs on both my fantasy teams, but I'm giving Montgomery 2 touchdowns this week. I think he's going to score 2 touchdowns this week. So, and I think he and the other Lions will be on their A game, and they will rout the Carolina Panthers in the Motor City. Give me Detroit with an 80% win probability, Carolina Panthers 19%. Next up now, we're moving into the 425 games, or the 4 o'clock games. This video feels very quick. It feels like it's going quick, which is a good thing, as we all know time flies, and another video is almost over, so keep an eye out for that. But anyway, now we're going to move into these 425 games, or 4 o'clock games, that's for sure. Cincinnati Bengals, Arizona Cardinals. This will be more interesting than people think, I think. I wouldn't be shocked if the Cardinals pull this one off, just because of how well they've played this year. This week was like an outlier. They've played the Giants and the Commanders. I know those teams stink. Much better than most people expected them to. Cowboys, they actually beat the Cowboys in Arizona. That was a big win for them. But yeah, they're looking good. They're showing good signs this year. This will be another true test for them. If they can get this win, that would be huge for them and their rebuild for sure under Jonathan Gannon and general manager Monty Ossenfort. For the Bengals, this is huge. You cannot fall to 1-4. Expect a playoff berth. This season has been a disaster for you guys. I don't know what's going on, but you need to win. This is a must-win game. And this game's going to be closer than most people think. But ultimately, I do believe the Bengals will get the job done. Give me Cincinnati, 63% win probability. Arizona, 36%. Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. This will definitely be an interesting game, that's for sure, in LA at SoFi. Eagles fans will dominate that stadium. They will be there loud and proud because SoFi does not attract a lot of Rams fans. So there's not a lot of passing in LA. And from what I've heard, there's not a lot of Rams fans at a lot of the games. It's a lot of visiting fans, especially when the 49ers come. Steelers, when they come in a couple weeks, you'll see a lot of visiting fans. Cowboys, probably. I think the Eagles will have a lot of visiting fans, and I think those Eagles fans will make a lot of noise. They'll propel the road team to a 5-0 start for the second consecutive season. I'm taking the Eagles in this one. I'm giving them a 64% win probability and the Rams 35%. Now we get into 3 of my most favorite, looked forward to games of the week. We're going to start off this one with the Taylor Swift game. And that obviously is Kansas City and Minnesota. Why I'm looking forward to this one? Because if the Chiefs pull this off, that sends the Vikings to 1-4. If the Lions, and you guys all know I'm a Lions fan, they're only behind they're my second favorite team, only behind Pittsburgh. You guys know if the Chiefs win, that means the Vikings lose. So if the Vikings, Packers, and Bears all lose, and the Detroit Lions win, that is huge. That gives our Lions a nice cushion over the rest of the division for now. And that puts you in control, which is awesome. I wanted to see, here's two things I want to see this week as a Detroit Lions fan. Taylor Swift at this game in Minneapolis and Travis Kelce to go off. No rules, no nothing. I want Travis Kelce to have at least 30 fantasy points in my league. I don't have him. I'm not playing against him. It doesn't matter to me how he does. I want 30 points from Kelce this week. I want him to go off because I want the Chiefs to win this game. I do like the Vikings, but I want the Chiefs to win this game because I want to put Minnesota in a hole. And I do think that will happen. I think Swift's going to make a last-minute appearance at this game. I think Kelce will go off. They'll both have a great day. And the Chiefs, they're going to get the job done. Give me Kansas City with an 83% win probability. Vikings with a 16% win probability. And now it's time for the game that has been talked about since late July. And you obviously see the computer coming down because we're pulling up a news article because we're going to talk about this game because of the interview. Sorry, check an email. But it is now time to discuss the game that has been talked about for the longest time because of all the DRAMA, the New York Jets at the Denver Broncos. And I can't believe this game hasn't gone more hype over the week. So obviously, as you all know, Nathaniel Hackett, and I'm going to explain the story here. This will push the video longer, but who cares? This is just interesting commentary. So as you guys all know, last year, Nathaniel Hackett was hired to be the Broncos head coach in January 2022. In March of 2022, the Seahawks traded quarterback Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos in exchange for young prospects and draft picks. The trade ultimately worked out in favor of the Seahawks. Russell Wilson struggled. Nathaniel Hackett struggled with clock management, play calling, and all that stuff. He just wasn't cut out to be a head coach yet. After the Broncos embarrassed themselves by losing, I think it was 44-13, to the Los Angeles Rams on Christmas Day of 2022, the day after Christmas, the Broncos fired Hackett. Later that offseason, Hackett accepted a job as the offensive coordinator of the New York Jets. The Denver Broncos hired Sean Payne to become their new head coach. It cools down. In July of this year, until July of this year. In July, Sean Payne did an interview with USA Today. And he absolutely tore into Hackett, annihilated him, and made all these stupid comments that for the first 4 weeks of this season, he couldn't even back them up. And I'll get more into that later. Sean Payne did an interview with Jarrett Bell of USA Today Sports. So he blasted, this is a USA Today article. It says, new Denver Broncos coach Sean Payne blasted the job of his predecessor, Nathaniel Hackett, who's currently the offensive coordinator of the New York Jets. He said, and this is what it says if you scroll down to the article. It's on USA Today. I suggest you read it. It's called Jets Broncos Beef Explained. And then there's fervor into it, but I can't see it because it's blocked out because of the tab. What did this header says? What did Broncos coach Sean Payne say about Nathaniel Hackett and the New York Jets? In a story that published July 27th, following an extended conversation with USA Today Sports' Jarrett Bell, Payne said Hackett's time in Denver might have been the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL. That's how bad it was. And then he said, everything that I heard about last season, we're doing the opposite. He took aim at the Jets and stuff. He criticized, and this is the fervor comment. This is what I was going to get into. It doesn't happen often where an NFL team or organization gets embarrassed, Payne said. And that happened here. Part of it was their own fault. And this part I find kind of funny. Part of it was their own fault relative to spending so much expletive, not a very nice word, time trying to win the offseason. The PR, the pomp and circumstance of marching people around and all this stuff. And don't get me wrong, they totally did that and they probably totally regret it. We're not doing any of that. And they didn't do any of that. He's right. They didn't do any of that. The Jets did that this year. You watch Hard Knocks, all of it. I can see it coming. And so far, he's been right. And guess who else saw it coming? Yours truly. I predicted the Jets to go like 7-10. And that was with a healthy Aaron Rodgers. So, listen to people like me. Sean Payne's a good person to listen to on some of this, like the whole pomp and circumstance. But yeah. We're not doing any of that. That's what he said. The Jets did that this year. You watch Hard Knocks, all of it, I can see it coming. Remember when former Washington owner Dan Snyder put that dream team together? He Sean Payne. I was at the Giants in 2000. I was a young coach. I thought, how are we going to compete with them? Deion Sanders there now. The team won 8 games or whatever. So listen, just put the work in. And I totally agree with him on that. He said the comments were a mistake. He regretted because he also, and I didn't get into this, he did mention about Russell Wilson and said 20 dirty hands ruined him. That part wasn't in there. I can't believe that, but 20 dirty hands he talked about. But yeah, he has not been able to back up those comments so far. He lost 17-16 to the Raiders. He lost, sorry to burp, 35-33 to the Commanders. And he got annihilated 70-20 by the Miami Dolphins. And he barely beat a horrible Chicago Bears team. So the Broncos look worse under Sean Payton than they did Nathaniel Hackett. Did Nathaniel Hackett, this is the next subheader to the article. Did Nathaniel Hackett respond to Sean Payton's comments? Yes. In his first public comments after the interview published, and this is the article, not me, Hackett called the remarks unfortunate, but they said it brought his new team together. So he's going to be motivated. He's going to have motive. And Nathaniel Hackett, Jeff definitely has a chip on his shoulder going into this game for sure. When they introduce him and say, welcome back, I imagine there will be a lot of boos from the Denver fans. They're going to boo, and they're going to boo loud and proud, Nathaniel Hackett. And so, yeah, I expect nothing but boos about him because they don't like him. Yeah. And by the way, too, I'm going to make a whole separate special report video on this, giving my take on it. But by the way, too, Phil Dracovic, Pitt's quarterback, was demoted from QB1 to QB3 this week. Christian Valu, Penn State transfer, is our new starter. I will have a special report video out about that in a couple minutes. But anyway, now just on to the score prediction for this Jets-Broncos game. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be wild. It's going to be chaos. But I have the Jets narrowly winning this game. I think Hackett and Saleh have revenge on their mind. They're going to want to put Sean Payton in their place. And I think the Jets are going to win. It's going to be very close. It's going to be very interesting. Both these teams aren't very good. But Jets, I have them with a 50% win probability. And I have the Broncos with a 49% win probability. But it'll be so interesting if the Jets do win to see Sean Payton's presser. Very interesting. I can't wait. If the Jets win, I cannot wait to see Sean Payton's presser. Now on to the next game. This is arguably the game of the week here. The Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners have their toughest task yet to date in these Cowboys. They've basically demolished every team they've played this year with the exception of the Rams, which made it close, but not too close. This will be a tough task for the 49ers. We'll see what they're truly made of. It's going to be interesting for sure. However, I still think the 49ers have enough in them to win one more game, keep this winning streak alive. I think the Niners win this one. I think it's worse than most people expect it to be, and I think they do fairly well. Give me the Niners, 62% win probability, Dallas 37%. This is Dallas's chance, though, if they can win this game, to make a statement that they're for real. So yeah, interesting times. Last game of the week before I wrap this up, we'll do this game, then we'll do my one game that could tie prediction, and then we'll call this out. And so yeah, Packers and the Vegas Raiders. This will be an interesting game for sure. I'm gonna go with the upset in this one. I'm gonna take the Las Vegas Raiders. I think they're at home. I think they have more momentum. They typically do good on Monday Night Football, and they're gonna want to win. So I'm taking the Raiders in this one. Raiders 52% win probability. Packers 47% win probability. So yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. So yeah, that's all the week 5 games for this week. Hopefully you guys all enjoy week 5. Before we go, obviously I did say I would do one game that I predict could end in a tie this week. This one's going to be really surprising to you guys. I'm going to take Bengals Cardinals. I can see this game definitely ending in a tie. For sure. So yeah, I'm going to take Bengals Cardinals for my potential tie of the week. So yeah, that'll be interesting. That's all I have for you guys this week. Enjoy week 5 of football. Have a good one. Take care. Stay safe. And as always, peace. Enjoy week 5, everybody.